Hi! Today the Merry Mice and I are demonstrating a festive and fun project that will provide a humorous reminder for you to stop and take a deep breath when things get hectic this Christmas season. I'm so glad you're joining me today. Welcome to StampingSmiles.com. I'm Shelley Godby, the owner and CEO of Stamping Smiles, and for 15 years I've been teaching others how to create their own hand stamped smiles. So we have a mouse here who's very excited to show you how to make this festive and fun project. Here's a much better view of the adorable Merry Mice stamp set from the 2016 Stampin' Up! Holiday Catalog. And through November 30th, 2016 only, you'll save 25% on the Merry Mice stamp set in clear mount, like I'll be demonstrating with today, or wood mount in my online store. So this project's going to start with a little bit of stamping. We're going to stamp this adorable guy in a piece of shimmery white cardstock using basic black Archival Stampin' Pad ink. Push, flip, lock that lid into place. So let's go ahead and tap it on here. And I like to turn it over to make sure I have good coverage. Oh, fantastic. Okay, we're using the basic black Archival ink because we're going to be watercoloring and we want a permanent ink that won't bleed when we add the ink to it. Okay, so I'm just pressing everywhere. Fantastic. And I'm using shimmery white cardstock because I am going to watercolor. I could have used watercolor paper, but it's rather coarse, and so I don't get as good of the detail. And the shimmery white is fantastic for watercoloring. The ink likes to move around and blend and just really very sharp, and it doesn't warp like you would with the regular Whisper White cardstock. So all we have to do is pull on this lid, click, and we're done with that. So next we're going to do our die cutting. We're going to start with the new Stitch Shapes Framelits dies. These are an exciting pre-release product from the 2017-2018 Stampin' Up! Catalog. They give you a stitch pattern around the whole perimeter in ovals, circles, and squares all in one set. These have been so popular that they're already on back order, and they just became available on November 1st with an estimated availability date of November 28th, 2016. But I have to tell you, the sales have just been beyond their wildest expectations. So on November 21st, 2016, they're going to go on non-orderable status until they get in another supply, and when that'll be, we just don't know. So if you'd like to get in line to get your own Stitch Shapes Framelits dies, get your order placed in my online store by November 20th, 2016. Okay, so we're going to go ahead, and I have here my Big Shot die cutting machine, and because I'm using a framelits die, I have my magnetic platform. It works fantastic with the thin metal dies. So our sandwich starts with the magnetic platform and then a cutting pad. And then we have the mouse that we just stamped, and then our dies. I'm going to use this largest oval, and we're going to frame him. That's why we call it framelits. So I'm going to adjust this until I have his feet in there. Okay, and do a little bit of, there we go. I want his hat and his feet. Oh, looking really good. I'm going to cut off a couple of snowflakes, but I'm okay with that. So to finish the sandwich, we have another cutting pad. So let's go ahead and crank this through. Great. Wait till you see this stitching. I can't wait for you to see this. So it just really adds a nice decorative touch. Isn't that great? I just used the largest oval in the Stitch Shapes Framelits dies to die cut our adorable mouse, but I wanted to layer it. Well, I'm just very pleased to tell you that the Stitch Shapes Framelits dies coordinate with the layering ovals Framelits dies. Love that. Makes everything so much more versatile. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to use this oval to die cut some real red cardstock. So I have the same sandwich, magnetic platform, cutting pad, and then the cutting edge is that little raised edge. We're going to place that down, and another cutting pad. Just so very, very pleased with that. So if you don't yet have the Stitch Shapes Framelits dies, you can use the layering ovals for both of these. We have the same size in here as for the mouse. See, that'll work. Just a little bit more die cutting, and this time we're going to use the layering squares Framelits dies, and I need these two. This one is just a square. We're going to do that with the white. And then this will layer with it. It has a scalloped edge. And so I have Emerald Envy cardstock here. And I am going to be stamping on the white. I'm using a photopolymer stamp set, so I'm just going to do the stamping after we get all that die cut. So same sandwich, cutting pad, and go ahead and crank that through. And there we go. And so I need 3 of the white, 2 of the Emerald Envy, and 1 in Real Red. So we've got all the die cutting done, so now we're ready to color him, and I want to watercolor him using an Aqua Painter and classic Stampin' Pads. This is a fantastic tool for watercoloring. In this reservoir, you just put tap water in there, and it just controls the water for you. So much easier than a paintbrush. Actually, it's a joy painting with these. And so what I have here is just a paper towel or napkin. So we squeeze it to get the water going, and then wipe it to get off the excess water, and just in case it wasn't clean before you put it away. And then with the classic Stampin' Pads, they're a dye ink, being water-based. Stampin' Up! Classic Stampin' Pads are pliable. They use lids on purpose, because see, I'm pressing the ink pad into that lid so I can get some color in there. So I'm going to leave it open, and so I'm done squeezing. Remember, I wiped that off. I'm going to come over here and just pick up some color, and let's color in his inside of his ears. Cute, cute, cute. Let me get a little bit more. Here we go. And don't forget his nose. Okay, so I'm going to do his face and hands and feet last. I don't want to touch the color to it. What I'm saying is let's give it a chance to dry. So we'll just move on to different parts of him. For instance, let's go ahead and do some Emerald Envy next. So I'm pressed down on there. This is one of the 2016-2018 in colors. So I squeezed to clean that, wiped it off. Now we're ready for a fresh color. So we're going to make his hat and scarf striped, red and green, because he's just very festive. So look at that fine tip, how you can get in there, because this is not a big area. Very pretty. Boy, talk about just calming down. Watercoloring does that. You can just feel your heart rate slow down as you sit here and just enjoy coloring again. Okay, so every other little stripe. Isn't that cute? All right. And I could go deeper if I wanted with the color. And right in there, okay. See, calming, just so calm. So we're almost done with the green. See, this all goes quicker than you think. And when you're enjoying it, like I do, there we go. We are completely done with Emerald Envy. We'll close that and click. So let's go ahead and squeeze. Now, I do want to put red, but I'm going to step away again from that so my colors don't mix. Let's give it a chance to dry. So the next color we're going to use is Saffron. Press down, open that up, and let's give this songbook some color. All right, I'm on purpose not trying to color the pages of the book. There we go. See, done with that. We're just whipping through this now. All right, clean that. So that's wet, so I'm going to stay away from that again. So let's just jump down to his pants, and for that I have the Dapper Denim, and that's also one of the 2016-2018 in colors. Pressing on there to get some, so I'm thinking this kind of looks like blue jean, a blue jean color. And you know, I used 3 sets of framelits for this project, and it did occur to me like, boy, that's a lot of tools. But you know, what you do is you build up your tools over time, your punches and your dies and all of that, and before you know it, you'll be using more than one set on a project if you want to. And they just worked out so well for this one. Okay, let's pick up a little bit more concentrated and do some shading here. Make this a little bit darker and then let that blend out. Nice, looking good. squeeze that, clean it off. And so like I said, you go ahead and build those tools up over time. It's not something that you do instantly. You know, and if you'd like to add to your supplies a little bit of time, I have a stamping club. I call it the Share the Wealth Club because we share in the hostess rewards. So I'll have a link underneath the video for you to check that out. Great way to order a little bit at a time and build up your supplies and take turns being the hostess. Okay, here I have some Marina mist for our snowflakes. Just give these a little bit of color. Blue because, you know, blue means cold. There we go. Oh, and over here, we're off that edge a little bit. I cut that off. And so that was giving me some time for this other to dry. Let me go ahead and put that away. Okay, and so I think we're ready for the red. And so this time, real red. Okay. And so now we're just going to go ahead and finish the hat and scarf. So you've seen me do all of that. So how about, to save you a little bit of time, let me go ahead and pull over one that's done up to that point. There we go, all the red filled in, the red on the scarf and his hat. So while I still have this out and this still is in red, that's the color we're going to make his shirt. Okay. If you have not yet tried the Aqua Painters, I just cannot recommend them enough. Before we had Aqua Painters, you know, we used watercolor brushes. Loved the look. Had a hard time controlling the water with them. I'd either have too much or not enough, so I was constantly wiping, trying to get them right, but loved it so much I kept doing it. And then when they came out with these Aqua Painters, because, you know, I squeeze to get it going, but I am not squeezing when I'm coloring. I am done squeezing. It's just putting out the perfect amount of water. Whoever figured this out is a genius. Let's get in here. Oh, pretty, 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 isn't he? And it just feels like it's gliding across. Because remember, we're using the shimmery white. Get his sleeve all colored in. Okay, see, he's very festive in his red and green. Okay, so we're done with this. Let's go ahead and flip that and click it. Squeeze that one more time and wipe it off. Now, we're going to do him in crumb cake. Squeeze, push on that lid. There we go. So those ears, you know, we started with those. So I'm comfortable going ahead and putting some color around. Oh, I see on this one the snowflakes aren't done. We'll need that Marina mist again. There we go. Isn't he? Oh, so precious. Oh, okay, let's give him a little bit of shading. So we'll pick up a little bit more color and just come over this side because we got the shading on that side a little bit darker. And so we can come over his ear if we want, make it deeper. Cute, cute, cute. Let's not do his hands quite yet. Let's step down to his feet. Just give that a little bit more time to dry. Oh, too precious. Okay, now let's go here and get his hands. Now that yellow, we did that right away too. So it just really eliminates, there we go, isn't that too cute? Oops. All right, how about we bring back the Marina mist and do those snowflakes again one more time. Forgot about those when I was trying to have that ready for you by the magic of TV. So these I'm on purpose going outside the line so we can see it. There we go. Isn't he just precious? So if you think of it, go ahead and squeeze it before, so when you're done, so when you grab it up the next time, it's good and clean so you don't get any surprises. So we have all of our die cutting done. Now we're just going to do a little bit of stamping, and I'm going to use the Brushwork Alphabet. Isn't this font just so pretty? And remember I told you this is a photopolymer stamp set. That's why I'm able to stamp after I've done my die cutting. And I want to use black. And whenever I'm using a photopolymer stamp set and not watercoloring, my choice of ink is a Tuxedo Black Memento ink pad. It just doesn't stain at all like the basic black Archival does. So let's go ahead and ink this up really well. Okay, looking through and see I've got good coverage. This is the capital D. So let's see how well we can get in the center of this without getting my head in the shot. Oh, love it, love it, love it. And then I have the lowercase j. Let's get this inked up. Oh, great. Like that a lot. Got a little bit nervous. I felt it rock, but I didn't rock any ink because I hadn't cut any edges by just inking straight up and down on the ink pad. Okay, lower than I want. That's why we have two sides. All right, let's try it again. Ah, come on. There we go. Just what we wanted. Perfect. So now we can start putting all this together. And I'm going to use the Fast Fuse adhesive. And so we've got, this isn't going to be a big border. It's going to add just a little bit of color. Great. Oh, that's looking really nice. And so that's on the Emerald Envy. And our large D is going to go on some Emerald Envy as well. Very nice. Boy, that's really easy doing that up in the air. When I was trying to do it down here, I had to move and move and move. So when I was doing it flat on here, I guess because I couldn't see through my fingers, I'd had to adjust a lot. But doing it up in the air, it's like, oh my goodness, getting it the first time. Great. Like that. Okay. Very nice. Okay, and so let's be generous with this. This is going to be a framed art project. So I'm going to go around, go around the entire, okay, let's get that. I didn't break it. You know, remember how I told you, if you've seen some of my other videos, slide it to break it. Oh, I didn't break it. And so some of that was gooed up in there. I just had to get it going again. Okay, but a good, good, strong adhesive. Oh, liking this just so much. So now you're going to get to see the humorous part. So we're going to use these pieces to decorate our 8x10 framed artwork. And remember I told you it was going to be a reminder to just slow down and take a breath when it got stressful? Well, how about this? Don't get your jingle in a jangle. How cute is this? And so I went ahead and printed this off on 8.5 by 11 crumb cake cardstock and then cut it down to 5.5 by 7.5. Well, I don't want you to have to go through all the work I did getting this just right, so I have a link to the PDF that you can download and print yourself underneath the video. So we're going to put him on right there. Let's be generous with our Fast Fuse adhesive. So we need to slide to stop it. Like I said, let's be really generous because this will be hanging up in your home, or if you use it for a gift for somebody else, let's just place it. Let's not press down yet. And so I left those there because we're going to use what we just stamped, but it really helps me with the placement. And we're going to use Stampin Dimensionals to put them on, giving them a little bit of lift. Really dresses this up. I had them on there flat to start with. So let's put one in the center of each of these. And I'm going to show you a special frame that I got for this. And are you ready for this? For $5. And so I'll have the link for that to you too, for you as well. Okay, so look, isn't that sharp? It's amazing what a little something like that can do. Okay, so I know this green one I'm going to alternate. We'll come down here. Don't get your jingle in a jangle. Cracks me up. My girlfriend and I went to a craft show last the Saturday after Thanksgiving, and they just had it printed on a piece of wood, but the saying just cracked me up to no end, and I knew we could do something adorable with that. Oh, look at that. Cute, cute, cute. Okay, so we've got some more things to do to our adorable mouse. these little mini jingle bells just tickled me so doggone much. I want to use one of them. They come in red and silver, and I want a red one right there, right? Because then I'll get our jingle and a jangle, and so these really do jingle. And so to put that on, I have the mini glue dots. And let's see if I'm going to use my paper piercing tool. Peel that back so I can see one. Really don't want to touch them, take away from the extreme stickiness. So let's get one. Curled it up on here. And go ahead. How cute! Isn't this an easy project, but really, really cute? And it's going to get better too for the layers. Okay, let me pick that up. I want to make sure that adhesive is underneath. There we go. So now he's got a little jingle bell on his hat. And then I didn't care for quite all that empty there, so I got out my Candy Cane Lane Baker's Twine, and this is in real red as well. And to save a little time, I already have a bow made up, so we're going to use mini glue dots again. This time I really need to roll it up well. You know, I could touch it and try to roll it up, but if we do, that takes away from stickiness. If I have to, I will, but we're going to see how small I can get it on here first. The less handling, the better. Okay, I think I'm going to have to, yep. I just couldn't avoid touching it for here. But not a whole lot. So here we go. Look, keeping everything so coordinated. That's what's so cool about Stampin' Up, that the ink and the cardstock and accessories all are of the same colors. They coordinate and are so attractive. And I just want to trim that off a little bit. I don't want that hanging down quite so low. Okay, so we've done all of that. And if I try to put it in a traditional frame, and I did, I found these at Walmart looking for something that would be nationwide. It bulged out at the back. It didn't work, and I was just really disappointed. So, but we have a fix. Very, very excited about the fix. Let me show you what I got here. I found this True Living display box, 8.5 by 10, at Dollar General. And again, I have the link to $5. All right. So, that's what's going to allow us to be able to have that jingle bell, and then once I had room for that, I knew I had room for the ribbon and the dimensionals. So I'm going to show you how all of this is going to get put together. Here's the back side of the shadow box, so let's go ahead and take off this back piece. And then we need to get that piece of paper out of there. My paper piercing tool is with me all the time, just love it. So let's remove that. Okay, so we have something much prettier to put in there now. Okay, so look, here is this little ledge. That's what that paper was sitting on. And this sits right on there too. So I decided to go ahead, let me move this aside, and to go ahead and just layer right onto this piece. And so look at this diagonal stripe pattern. This is from the Candy Cane Lane Designer Series paper, also from the holiday catalog. And I thought, let's go ahead and use mini glue dots. And let's be generous with those. Now they're just extra strong. Fast fuse would probably work too. Okay, let's get it along the edges and in the center. So each corner. So I'm taking the paper to them, you see that, and pressing down, because I don't want to take away from the extreme stickiness. Okay, yep, got one there too. So I just cut this to 8.5 by 11 for the frame, for this piece. Okay. Very nice. Let me turn over. There we go. Okay. Now that I'm happy with the placement, let's press everywhere. Liking that already. And then I have this patterned, and I already went ahead and put this on here. And I've got so much depth in there, I thought, wouldn't that be pretty if that were raised up instead of just flat? So look what I did. Instead of putting Stampin' Dimensionals like crazy all over the place, I'm using the foam adhesive strips. Look at all of that support I have. So I have 3 sides done to save some time. Let me take one of these strips off. And so these are even a little bit, I'd say, half as much in depth as a Stampin' Dimensional. And I've got, like I said, the room for it in that and that display box. Let's come over here. Oh, so, so cute. My paper snips. Love these. Easy to hang on to, nice and sharp. They're just fantastic. Okay, so now we can peel off that backing. Dimensionals would have taken a long time, where this was really quick. Okay, and one more backing to peel off. And centered, and oh, just lovely. Look at that. Okay, so let's go ahead, bring back this box so it's all attached. Look how easy that is. We're just going to set it on that little lip in here. There we go. So it's setting on there. Push these back in. Hold that. I can't wait to turn it over. And it still cracks me up. This would be a fun gift to give, right? And there we go. Don't get your jingle in a jangle. So easy to do and so cute. And we all could use a little bit of humor at Christmas time. If you'd like to make my Don't Get Your Jingle in a Jangle framed artwork with the Marry My Stamp set, all the supplies are listed underneath the video and available to order in my online store, www.shopwithshelly.com. I'm Shelly Godby, teaching you how to create hand stamped smiles. Thanks for watching.